Hey my friends, I wanted to show you why some people are consistent and why others are not. And essentially this is a little bit of habit building. I wanted to give you an analogy of why some people are really consistent and why some people are not. Okay, so let's think about a skill like learning a piano or a language or even something like reading, right? If you've never read and you've wondered why so many people can read and how easy it is, and you've also wondered why someone is so good at piano and then some people just don't get it at all, right? And I wanted to give you this analogy. So just imagine you're walking through a jungle, right? Or a meadow. And this meadow's got grass everywhere, okay? The first time you run this skill, you start playing the piano, you start reading the book, you're walking through this meadow, there's trees everywhere and there's leaves everywhere, and it's really annoying, it's really hard to walk through. But over time, as you keep practicing the skill with consistency, then that meadow turns into a trail, right? And we all know that we can walk on trails. Trails are still rough paths, but they still allow us to move forward and go through, okay? And the more you practice, that can turn into a road. That trail can turn into a road, right? And this essentially is the neuroplasticity in our brain. And what that is that it's probably one of the best things that our brain has ever got, right? It's the ability to adapt and to learn and to grow. So just as I said, if we're starting with a meadow, our brains are very new to all of this, like the piano and the reading. But over time, as we practice it more and more, it turns into a path, then it turns into a road. And then even when we don't feel like practicing and we can't be bothered, but we still do it, then it turns into a highway. And then when we do it all the time, it turns into a super highway, right? And you can see 50, 100 cars go through the super highway all the time. From a meadow to the super highway. And that is when you get from a skill that you have no idea and you've never done before, like piano or reading or something, and it turns into this fluent piece that you can play any song. Someone's like, play this song, and you're like, okay, cool. That is the super highway. And that is what's happening in your brain. So you have to push through all the time. And every time you can't be bothered to do something, you basically have to do it. You've got to be consistent over time, and that's how we build habits, and that's how we build, this super highway which allows us to play piano fluently. So look, think about anything that you want to pick up, and now you've got this analogy in your head. You can think, all right, I'm at a meadow right now, it's going to turn into a trail, then a road, then a highway and a super highway. You've got that vision in your head, so you can practice for a week, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then over time you'll get to a super highway. It might take longer for some people, but that is generally the path that people go through. So consistency is the answer to get to mastery.